Bear down, bitches.
Hello, once again, welcome in. I am Joby Wan, and thank you for joining me. And today I'm going to bring you my Week 12 Power Rankings. But before we get into all that, I want to talk a little bit about our Bears, our first place Bears. Sitting at 7-3 after 10 games in the season, I believe they've already done more than many of us would have imagined this year. We should have no delusions about the caliber of team that our Bears have been beating this year, but the nice thing about the 7-game stretch remaining is that we're going to find out a lot about our team. Of course, up next is Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rodgers suffering a fractured wrist in his non-throwing hand last week. But I'll tell you right now, no matter what the Steelers do or say, no matter what Aaron Rodgers does or says, he is going to be playing in this game. There's no way Aaron Rodgers is going to miss one last opportunity to stick it to us at Soldier Field. It is my hope that he comes to Soldier Field and discovers that this is no longer the Mark Trestman, John Fox, Matt Nagy, or Matt Eberflus Bears of the last decade and a half. If the Bears wish to have a chance to beat this field general who has carved them up for the better part of the last 2 decades, they are going to need to generate a serious pass rush. And not with blitzing, with their front four. This needs to be the Montez Sweat game, the Tryon Shroyinka game. Somebody on this defensive line needs to step up, and they need to get to him early and often. Hit them, smash them, grind them to dust.
Give in to your anger.
But one thing I will do, if the Bears do come away with this victory, is I will officially place them in my top 10 next week. And with those thoughts out of the way, let's get right into the top 10. Off the list this week is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. After back-to-back losses following their bye week, they have been left reeling somewhat. Baker Mayfield has not looked like the MVP candidate from earlier in this season. However, I do still expect this team to be able to win this division. I thought about placing the Ravens on this list this week as they are ascending, but I think I'll give it another week and let them have a chance at taking over their division. Alright, at number 10 we have the Green Bay Packers. Great job, you beat the Giants, you were supposed to beat the Giants, you beat an opponent you were supposed to, blah blah blah. Moving on, at number 9 and back on this list once again this year is the San Francisco 49ers. With Brock Purdy back in the lineup, they just about doubled up the Cardinals over the weekend, and this team is starting to get healthier. I imagine they will be a force to be reckoned with towards the end of the season here. At number 8 and moving up one spot is the Buffalo Bills. After that embarrassing performance in Miami, Josh Allen came out and had the Superman game. But as I've been saying all season long, this is the Bills' Achilles heel. If Josh Allen doesn't have the Superman game, their chances of winning take a significant hit. At number 7, we have the Seattle Seahawks. I decided to move them neither up nor down this week, as they did keep it close against the Rams in a tough divisional matchup. At number 6 and dropping 3 spots this week is the Detroit Lions. Definitely a tough loss against one of the few teams that can overmatch them. It's starting to look like this team might be missing their old offensive coordinator.
No givesies backsies!
At number 5 and moving up another spot this week is the Denver Broncos. An amazing defensive victory this week. This team has left the Kansas City Chiefs in desperation mode and needing to win almost all their games to have a chance at making the playoffs. At number 4 and also moving up a spot this week is the New England Patriots. It's quite unbelievable what Mike Vrabel has been able to do with a roster that most people did not believe in just a year ago. And a second-year quarterback that would almost certainly go number 1 overall if teams were given a chance to redraft. At number 3 and moving up another spot this week is the Philadelphia Eagles. I tell you, drama, drama, drama. But all this team does is win. As I've said before, if this team can iron out the wrinkles offensively, watch out once again. At number 2 is the Indianapolis Colts. They were on bye this week, so they're going to stay put. And remaining in the number 1 spot this week is the Los Angeles Rams. Not the prettiest of wins, but of course divisional games tend to be tough slogfests, and the Rams managed to come out on top of this one. Alright, there you have it. That is my top 10 going into week 12 here. I will most certainly be live streaming once again this weekend with the Bears hosting the Steelers. This is the last of their run of 6 games at noon before they take on the Philadelphia Eagles on Black Friday the following week. And I hope that you will join me live as I cheer on our Bears in their quest to destroy Aaron Rodgers. And once again, thank you for joining me. And until we meet again, bear down.